At Aero 647 on June 6, 1944, Commander Samuel Dealey stood in the cramped conning tower of USS Harder, watching 3 Japanese destroyers cut through the moonlit waters off Tawi-Tawi, tracking his submarine with deadly precision. At 37 years old, with 5 war patrols and 18 enemy ships sunk to his credit, Dealey was a seasoned veteran. The Imperial Japanese Navy had dispatched destroyers to eliminate the American submarine that had disrupted their supply lines for weeks. Until April 1944, American submarines typically evaded Japanese destroyers, which could reach 35 knots while a submerged submarine managed only about 9. From December 1941 to March 1944, Japanese destroyers sank 14 American submarines, with no American submarine sinking a Japanese destroyer in direct combat. Dealey changed that on April 13th, when destroyer Ikazuchi charged Harder's position. Instead of diving and running, he ordered flank speed ahead toward the E destroyer. At 900 yards, Harder fired 4 torpedoes in a spread. 2 hit amidships, and Ikazuchi exploded and sank in minutes. Dealey's report, expended 4 torpedoes and 1 destroyer, became legendary in the Pacific Submarine Force. Admiral Soemu Toyoda, commander of the Japanese Combined Fleet, took note. Japan had lost 23 destroyers between January and May 1944, disrupting plans for Operation Ago, the defense of the Philippines. By late May, Toyota concentrated the Mobile fleet at Tawi-Tawi anchorage, 4 battleships including Yamato, 9 carriers, 15 cruisers, and 28 destroyers, the largest assembly since Midway. American codebreakers anticipated the move. Admiral Charles Lockwood sent Harder to patrol off Tawi-Tawi and attack opportunities. For days, Harder operated undetected. Then, on June 6th, at Oro 300, a Japanese patrol plane spotted her periscope wake 15 miles north of Tawi-Tawi. 3 destroyers responded. Commander Dealey observed the lead destroyer through the periscope. Minazuki, 250 tons with 4 5-inch guns, closing fast while zigzagging. 2 more destroyers spread out, boxing Harder in. Dealey turned Harder's bow toward Minazuki. Range, 100 yards. Time to collision, about 96 seconds. Down the throat, shots were high risk. Fire directly at the oncoming bow, then dive deep. Miss, and the destroyer could ram or depth charge precisely. At 750 yards, Dealey fired 3 torpedoes. Harder dove to 300 feet at a steep angle. Seconds later, explosions rocked the boat, 2 hits breaking Minazuki in half. She sank rapidly. The surviving destroyers fled, dropping random depth charges. Toyota learned of the loss by 0900 and ordered more destroyers to hunt. By noon, patrol planes searched frequently, but Dealey continued. On June 7th at 0230, Harder surfaced to recharge batteries under pitch-black skies. At Aero 312, radar detected a contact at 8,000 yards. Closing at 28 knots, a destroyer. Hayanami, searching since 0100, was heading back to base. Her exhausted captain did not expect a surface attack. Dealey closed at flank speed to 21 knots, staying outside radar range initially. At 4,000 yards, Hayanami detected a contact, but mistook it for friendly. At 2,300 yards, she realized the error and turned to ram. Too late, Dealey fired 4 torpedoes. 2 hit near the aft magazine. Hayanami's stern blew off. She rolled and sank, stern first. Her captain and most crew perished. Harder submerged as planes approached. 2 destroyers in 24 hours enraged Toyota. He formed hunter-killer groups from convoy escorts, ordering maximum aggression. On June 8th, Dealey moved south to Sibutu Passage, patrolled heavily by destroyers. At 1400, lookouts spotted 2 in formation. Dealey observed their predictable zigzags for 90 minutes, positioning for a shot. At 1630, 1 turned toward Harder. Dealey waited until 200 yards, firing 4 torpedoes at intervals. Hits amidships and on the magazine caused massive explosions. The destroyer, likely Tanakaze, broke apart and sank quickly. The escort charged, depth charging as Harder dove to 400 feet. No serious damage. The escort withdrew after 40 minutes. 3 destroyers in 3 days. On June 9th, at Oro 500, Dealey raised periscope 12 miles southwest of Tawi-Tawi. 4 destroyers. In line ahead searched actively, sonar pinging loudly. With 8 torpedoes left, Dealey targeted the second, on steady course. At Oro 612, it turned toward Harder. At 1,800 yards, 3 torpedoes fired. All hit. Violent explosions sent debris high. She sank in 90 seconds. The others converged. Harder dove to 500 feet. Intense depth charging followed, 23 in 10 minutes, causing damage but no critical failures. After 2 hours, they withdrew. 4 destroyers sunk in 4 days, with one more heavily damaged earlier in the patrol, often credited as 5 affected. Low on fuel, Harder prepared to withdraw. The attacks convinced Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa the anchorage was vulnerable. He urged immediate departure. Toyota agreed, despite disrupting AGO timing. On June 10th, the mobile fleet sailed early, scattered, undersupplied, reconnaissance limited. Codebreakers detected the move. Admiral Raymond Spruance adjusted plans. The Battle of the Philippine Sea, June 19th to 20th, 1944, became the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. American forces devastated Japanese air power, sinking 3 carriers. Dealey's patrol forced the premature exit, contributing significantly to the outcome. Admiral Lockwood later called it the war's most strategically important submarine operation. On June 10th, Dealey spotted 2 more destroyers. With 5 torpedoes left, he attacked the lead. 1 hit slowed it, the 5th damaged. The 2nd charged. Last 2 torpedoes missed. Harder dove deep, enduring 42 depth charges over 90 minutes. The attacker exhausted charges and withdrew. Harder surfaced at night and headed to Fremantle, arriving June 26th. Lockwood awarded Dealey the Navy Cross on the pier and asked if he could repeat it. Dealey, torpedoes ready, he'd sink 10. Repairs and training followed. Dealey's tactics spread. American submarines sank more destroyers using aggressive approaches. Harder's 6th Patrol began August 5th as Wolfpack leader with Hado and Hake off Luzon. Successes included convoy attacks sinking cargo ships and frigates Matsuwa and Hiburi. On August 24th, off Daesol Bay, Harder surfaced near a damaged destroyer. Japanese escorts CD-22 and PB-102, ex-USS Stuart, approached undetected initially. Hake warned but no response. Harder crash-dived late, leaving a wake. CD-22 attacked perfectly. Depth charges cracked the hull, flooding overwhelmed. Harder sank rapidly at around 600 feet, beyond test depth, with all 79 hands lost, including Dealey. On May 22, 2024, the Lost 52 project discovered Harder's wreck in the South China Sea at 3,150 feet off Luzon, upright, mostly intact except depth charge damage aft of the conning tower. A protected war grave, the story of Commander Samuel Dealey and USS Harder's crew endures. Bold tactics, strategic impact, and ultimate sacrifice that helped turn the Pacific War. Their legacy inspires, reminding us of the courage that secured victory. Besides Samuel Dealey of USS Harder, widely regarded as the destroyer killer for his aggressive tactics against Japanese escorts, several other U.S. Navy submarine commanders stood out during World War II for their extraordinary success in the Pacific. They pioneered bold approaches that devastated Japanese shipping and helped win the war. Here are some of the most famous, ranked roughly by tonnage sunk or impact, based on post-war assessments. Often called the most successful U.S. submarine commander of the war. As commanding officer of USS Tang, he sank 33 confirmed ships totaling over 116,000 tons in just 5 patrols, the highest for any American submarine. O'Kane previously served as executive officer under Dudley Morton on USS Wahoo, honing aggressive surface and night attack tactics. He earned the Medal of Honor for his final patrol, where Tang was sunk by a circular running torpedo. O'Kane survived as a POW. A legendary aggressor who revolutionized U.S. submarine tactics by emphasizing bold surface attacks and relentless pursuit. On USS Wahoo's famous 3rd Patrol, he sank an entire convoy, credited with around 19 ships, over 100,000 tons combined across patrols. Morton and Wahoo were lost in 1943, but his methods influenced aces like O'Kane and Dealey. A former All-American football player turned submarine ace, commanded USS Seahorse to sink numerous ships, high tonnage rankings in some lists. Known for aggressive patrols and strong leadership, mentored by early commanders, and influenced the shift to bolder tactics. B-399. Roy M. Davenport, the only U.S. Navy officer to earn 5 Navy Crosses, shared distinction with Marine legend Chesty Puller, highly aggressive in multiple commands. Glenn R. Donahoe, USS Flying Fish Pikuta, and Lawson P. Red Ramage, USS Trout, Parsh, Medal of Honor recipient for a daring surface attack, also ranked high in sinkings and valor. These commanders shifted U.S. submarine doctrine from cautious evasion to aggressive hunting, exploiting Japanese weaknesses in anti-submarine warfare. Their patrols accounted for a massive portion of Japan's lost merchant fleet and warships, starving the empire of resources. For context, Samuel Dealey fits right among them. His strategic impact, forcing the Japanese fleet's premature departure, and destroyer kills made him iconic, earning a posthumous Medal of Honor. Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, Medal of Honor. Recipient Sam. Their stories highlight the courage and innovation of the silent service in turning the tide in the Pacific.